So another concept I want to show you is something we talk about in class, is that if you show your dog the line, they should be able to read the line, and we want them to drive down that line. And as long as mom or dad is running and running straight and supporting that line of jumps, we want our dogs to understand that it is their job to take those jumps, to power down those jumps, and hopefully actually get ahead of you in those jumps. And I think the courses we ran this particular weekend were a great example, because all of them ended in 3 to 4 jumps of a straight line out, which means pretty much most handlers at that point are not going to be able to be keeping up with their dog by the end of that line. And if that dog does not understand the idea of driving forward and powering ahead of their handler on a line, that they would most certainly spin or at least turn in a different direction and perhaps get a refusal and an NQ. So here's Soleil doing this run. I'll do it full speed first. So here's the line now. And you can see how confidently, sorry, little back up here, do a little rear cross here. This is not my favorite move, but I wasn't going to get a blind in. So here's a rear cross here. And then as we're coming here, the advantage of me doing this rear cross is it did mean, I was a little bit ahead for this line because I didn't need to follow that whole direction. Her, as she should with the rear cross, as I turn, you can see, I'll talk a little bit about the rear cross here. You can see that I turn pretty close on her and tight on her as she's taking that jump, and so that does cause her to take a nice, really quite a nice tight line right on this 180. Keeping in mind, it's not always, a tight line is not always the best line, but she does turn really tight and then take this really nice as well, actually really nice. And then here we are going down this line, and now Soleil, I'm running pretty fast, and she looks at me right here, but I'm cueing a go command. And so look at her. As soon as she looks here, she's like, what's going on, Mom? What's the plan here? And as I look at her and I tell her go, and I keep running, notice I'm not indicating any jump. I just keep running as hard as I can down that line, and Soleil understands this whole way. She is committed all this way now. She's looking straight ahead, never questioning the fact that her job is to keep running down that line and take all of those jumps. And you can see how far I was behind her. I mean, she's here, and I'm nowhere near that next jump. Now, if the dog doesn't feel comfortable, doesn't feel they understand that idea of just driving ahead, this is exactly where they might spin. Like right when they get here, they'll spin saying, is this the right thing to do? And it's also a triple at the end, which means you want that dog to be extending. Even if they're willing to take the jump, if they're wondering and they're looking back at their handler at this point, they also might not get enough extension. And what happened here as well is that dogs would knock that triple, that bar up there, because they were looking back. Now, I'll note the second Soleil lands, she does turn and look, because that's what she likes to do at the end of the run. She always turns and runs back at me, but she did fully extend and commit to that jump all the way through the end. All right, here's Nico, my other dog, running the exact same course, just so you can see a bit of a comparison. I'll start back at this point with her too, because you can see as we're coming here, I indicate this jump, but Nico is not so sure about that rear cross. And I think a lot of it is why, look at my body, I'm still kind of pulling her at this point, really perhaps indicating I'm going to do a wrap. And now at this point, so look at her. As she's coming here, as she lands, because of my body movement, which is not great, she's thinking that her job is to come and go this way because of what I'm doing. As we go on, and now you can see I start to step in on her line. And at that point, then she's just starting right there to reverse herself. And you can see right there, she corrects herself like right one stride before the jump. God bless that dog. Corrects it and then ends up taking it as a rear cross and doing a really nice job on that. Boy, these girls really save me when I'm not feeling well. So she comes around, and once again, just like Soleil, even more confident than Soleil in a way, she's driving down the line. She sees me, and she doesn't even check in. She just, like Soleil did, she just knows right away, Mom's running. If you look at my mouth, you can say I'm saying go. If I say go and I run, I want them to power ahead. And look at how far she just powers ahead of me, even further than Soleil did, all the way through the end. And once again, just really has that confidence. And that's what we're looking at in some of the drills we're doing in class, is testing to see how confident that dog is and whether they understand that idea of, if handler is running a line, your job is just to see that line, take that line confidently, unless you're given information to do something different than that.